Okay, as I showed on the previous video that I did on how to put the white napkin pieces that you remove when you're playing with printed napkins, the white part, I put it on a sheet, removable ID label, 8.5 by 11. And at the time I knew the backing of these, let me just show you really quickly here. The backing, I was trying to find the places that are slashed to make it easy to remove this. But what I do is I find those, I don't know if you can see the little slash mark in there. Maybe on the other side you can, yeah. On the other side you can. So what I do is before I totally remove it, I find out where those slash marks are. And I put tape on them. That way I can use this sheet again to cover the sticky part of the removable label, and so it can be used again. Now I'm going to pause this to see if I can find the piece that I laid down somewhere. I can't believe I do this all the time, lose stuff. But anyway, I'm going to pause this and get back and show you. Now I'm going to try and print on fabric. Okay, now I have stuck this very rough piece of muslin. I think we call it here. I don't know if they call it calico in other countries, but anyway, I don't know. We always call calico something that's printed, I think. It has a pattern on it. But anyway, this is a very rough piece of muslin, and it's stuck to this temporary label. And I've smoothed it down as much as I can. Now I kept the salvage edge, and I'm worried that it's going to get all kind of blackened as it runs through my printer. So I may just let it go and see what it does. Now, since I cut the fabric out slightly larger, I'm going to pause this and trim the edge, because if I do it looking through the camera, I will just make a mess. So this is what I'm going to do. I won't bore you. So here we go. Yes, and here are the scraps that I cut. I have a nice fabric. Now one part, both ends are a little bit straggly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of tape, maybe on this edge here, which will be the leading edge as it feeds through my printer. See, it's a little sticky right there, so I don't really want that. So let me go ahead and trim these, trim these up and put some tape down there, a little piece of tape. I might even, I'm really worried about this wavery edge. Yeah, I just might put some tape on there as well. Yeah, just to flatten it out, because I know going through the rollers, it's probably going to collect some ink. All right, so let me pause while I do that. Okay, this tape doesn't want to stick to the fabric, which probably is a good thing, but that's the leading edge. I'm going to put this down, and I did manage to put a little tape. I'm worried that I got a crick in it, a pleat in it, or whatever you call it, down here, but at least it will hold down that kind of salvaged edge. So now I'm getting ready to feed it through. This side I don't worry about, and I don't worry about this end here since it's pretty good shape. All right, so I'm going to put this in my printer down like that, and I found let me show you what I want to print. Okay, I'm going to print this vintage newspaper I just bought and downloaded from Vectorian Designs, not Victorian, but Vectorian Designs. So hopefully I'll get this printed on fabric and have some fun with this. So I'm going to pause it again. Okay, it's been sent to my printer, and it's printing. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I like it so far. Oh my gosh, look at that. On this old muslin, won't that be fun to use? I can eat, oh, it's coming out very nice. Ooh, I'll just have to slip a few more of those in. What do you think? Hope it doesn't hang up on me, but it's doing really well. And oh, the tape though, there it goes. Well, I do not know what happened over here. I think the tape lifted, so and so it didn't print, so it didn't get the printing. So the next time I will have to not use the salvage edge. That way I won't have this problem. But it worked. And let me see if I can take this off. Yeah, and reuse it again. But I will use some different tape. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't even want to stick to, which is good for some things and not so good for others. But it didn't want to stick to the fabric, that's for sure. It stuck pretty good to the label, but I'm just going to get rid of this. Pitch it in the trash. Don't trash much. But anyway, I have now a, well, see, it's tearing a little bit off the paper itself. But since I only use this as a feeder sheet, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I could actually add a little piece of tape to the back if I wanted, because I'm using the adhesion, you know, the adhesive part. That's a temporary label. So now I can see through the camera, which I'm not very good at doing now. See, I can rip the fabric off of this label, and there it is on muslin. Can you see the weave? Isn't that fun? Woohoo! Now this happened because the tape got lifted, and so it didn't print. So now, meanwhile, I'm going to use this sheet again. Somewhere I saved the sheet that I showed you a few moments ago. Let's see, where the heck is it? Oh, I hope I'm not the only one that gets excited at the possibility of discovery and films while I'm doing it. I do not make professional films. I don't have the patience for that. I just want to experiment. Let me see if I left that out here. I did. Okay, so now what I can do is put this sheet back down and save this label to use again. Okay, so now this will be my fabric, but I did see that tape started pulling up some of the back. So you know what I'm going to just do is run a piece of Scotch tape over that when I get a chance. And so this is still good. So even though these might be, I have forgotten how much these are. You can print on these, of course. They're labels, but they're removable, and that's the key. It's buying them, and they were probably pricey for 25 sheets, but I plan to only use them for masking, and which I can reuse them over again, and for this sort of thing. I've used it to put the Europeans call the serviette, the white backing on decorative paper napkins, and I printed on that successfully. Now I've printed on fabric, and actually that fabric was pretty rough textured. I mean, not very, but it wasn't smooth, you know, the way some muslins are smooth. This was a very, now of course I have to say it didn't like it at the bottom, and I don't know what happened down here. Let me look at it again. Yeah, that's my printer's fault. But as you can see, it's pretty rough textured. But I think I will probably spray some preservative over the top of it so that the ink doesn't run, and cut it up in bits and use it as backing for cards or whatever. But mostly I just wanted to see if this would work, and indeed it does. I just have learned a few things about not using this ruffly edge. And that way I wouldn't have the tape except on the leading edge, just to make sure it goes through. And then I don't know what happened down here. And I think that has more to do with my printer. So anyway, another experiment using the one sheet removable labels. You know, I probably could have even used the non-removable labels with fabric. I'll bet the fabric would come off it. Whereas if I put any, the napkins would not. It would be adhered forever. But I do print, I have some 8.5 by 11 sheets that I make stickers out of. Matter of fact, I just printed one. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here's one of the sheets that I have, which are permanent, not removable. This backing comes off when you print on it. I just printed something. What did I print? Yeah, I think I printed some labels, thinking, yeah, here they are. Oh, this, yeah. So these are on sticker paper, and I just printed these. So all I have to do is cut them out and remove the backing, and then stick them on card or whatever. So I have this, and I'll bet this would hold fabric more firmly. I'll have to give that a whirl when I've got some time. Yes, because when you look around, when you stop to look around, this life is pretty amazing. And I don't have the impulse to travel. I'm perfectly happy here, playing with all my things. So for what it is worth, I have now a piece of fabric. Now I know you can buy fabric that will go through the printer, and I think I have a couple of pieces, but it's not this color. It's more white. I think you can probably buy it in off-white, but since I have lots of this, and sheeting, so you could actually print on top of prints. You know, if you have some printed sheeting, especially because sheeting tends to be a lot thinner, and you use this, you could print designs on top of printed sheeting or lightweight percale or something like that. Anyway, I'm very happy that it worked out over here pretty well. It's funny over here, what's happened over here is the spray of the color of the background sprayed, but the actual printing of the text did not. Almost looks like half of a fish, doesn't it? Half fish design. Anyway, I will find uses for this. So if it helps anybody to get adventurous in their crafting, so I hope it does.